Hey guys, you are talking to Ree. I come to talk to you about what I have either read in the blogs, heard in the streets, or watched on TV. It is literally all of the above. We are talking about the Torey Lanez versus the state, well actually versus Meg Thee Stallion if we're being honest, trial that just ended. Apparently Torey was found guilty of all charges. Yes, you read that right. All felony charges. He was being charged with assault with a semi-automatic handgun. That was one charge. The other one was carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. That was another charge. And the other charge was discharging a firearm with gross negligence. He was guilty of all three. And some people are celebrating. Some people are up in arms. You know, I will be lying to you if I say that I am shocked, but I'm not shocked for what most people believe. I do not believe in the matter of, you know, oh, you're found guilty, that means that you've done the crime. The same way I don't believe in the matter of, oh, you're found innocent, that means you did not do the crime, right? It's all about, you know, who makes the best argument. And sometimes it's also about who you are. Like, let's be real there as well. Following this case, I'm going to be honest with you, there was a lot of circumstantial evidence, you know, definitely nothing concrete. Everything was all over the place. Meg lied on the stand. She lied off the stand. Torey lied. Well, he didn't lie on the stand because he never took the stand. Kelsey lied on the stand. She lied off the stand. Everyone did not seem to be credible, including the witness. The only one that seemed to have a little bit of credibility to me was the hairstylist, EJ, who spoke from a very unbiased standpoint. The reason why I feel like the witness, the gentleman whose house that the matter took place at, the reason why I felt that he was lying is because he was not called up by the prosecutors. He was called up as a witness for the defense, which means that you said things for the defense to feel like, hey, this is someone we want to bring on our side. And for the prosecutors to feel like, hey, this is someone we want to keep clear from the case because they're not going to help us in convicting Torey. The witness got on the stand and said that, you know, he definitely saw Torey with the gun in his hand and was waving it crazy and was shooting it at Meg, thought that he was going to kill her. He thought that the girl as well, speaking of Kelsey, he thought that Kelsey was assisting with the killing. He thought that, you know, the driver was also assisting with the killing. He said that they spoke of dragging her to some pond. Like, his story was very elaborate. And it definitely wasn't the story that was told previously. That's not the story that when they played the 911 audio where he only mentioned of two women fighting, you know, did not mention of a shooting of any sort. That's definitely not what he told the DA, the prosecutors I'm speaking of, or Torey's lawyers. He told them that, no, he placed the gun in Kelsey's hand. So for him to get on the stand and say something very different means that he's not credible. The same way that people were removing Kelsey's credibility because they said that her statement prior to the stand is very different than her statement on the stand. In the same way, we need to be removing the witness as well. And we need to also remove of Megan as well. Like, there was nothing, no one was credible. It was a lot of pointing of the finger. It was a lot of people being drunk and not quite remembering all of the events that took place. It was all over the place. And then when you look at the evidence as far as DNA goes, so gun residue was found on Torey and on Kelsey. So when you look at that, you're like, okay, well, how did that happen? Well, gun residue can be found on you if you are in close proximity to a gun being fired. So let's start there. So then we dig deeper. Okay, well, let's look at the fingerprints on the gun. Well, the fingerprints on the gun was inconclusive for Torey. They looked at the fingerprints on the magazine. The fingerprints on the magazine, there was no fingerprints of Torey that was found on the magazine. But the forensic person said that it was a woman's fingerprint that was found on the magazine as well as on the gun. Here's the problem. This could have easily been solved if the DA would have done their job into actually, you know, making sure they clear Kelsey as a suspect before granting her immunity. Because if they would have cleared her as a suspect, everybody out there should have got their fingerprints done, right? Tested. They never did that. So all they said was that there's a woman's fingerprint that's on the gun and a woman's fingerprint that's on the magazine, but they never took Kelsey's fingerprint to actually confirm of it, or at least to remove her as a suspect. So this case was really just all over the place. I would be honest with you, if I was a jury, I definitely would not have voted guilty. I would have thought that this would have been, you know, a mistrial. Because guilty is, you are looking at taking someone's life away. And that is beyond reasonable doubt. Okay? And so I know people are saying, well, if Torey didn't shoot, then who shot Meg? There were 3 people out there besides Meg. And, you know, from the witness, even though he lied, there was definitely a physical altercation between Meg and Kelsey. And he said that he put the gun in Kelsey's. He said that the first firing he felt came from the woman, you know, in reference to Kelsey. This is what he said. So there could have been a tug of war between the gun, you know, right? Like, we don't know. It could have also been the driver also. Like we can't just eliminate people just because someone says, hey, this is the person that shot me. Because if you remember, Meg said, oh, yeah, he told me to dance and he kept shooting at my feet as if this was a Looney Tune movie. But if you also remember, Meg first started off by saying that, oh, it was glass, saying that she wasn't shot. Then she said she was shot. Then she gets on the stand and says that she doesn't quite remember certain events, but then she remembers of this and that. So, you know, we've seen situations like this where, you know, once everything is revealed, it turns out to be a whole nother person. And you can definitely tell that the fact that Meg nor Kelsey mentioned their physical altercation, you know, it was as if Meg was attempting to protect Kelsey from it. Not even necessarily protect her. I'm not going to use the word protector, but eliminate Kelsey from it and place it all on Torey because she strongly believed that it was Torey. I don't know. But there was too much. And when you don't know is why it should have been either a mistrial at the very least. It's because you don't know. You cannot say guilty beyond reasonable doubt. That is what it means. Guilty beyond, for you to send someone to prison for life or, you know, taking away majority of their life, it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. And we cannot say that due to the conflicting stories from everyone that took the stand, including Megan. Everyone that took the stand had conflicting stories. But I remember when I spoke on this on my social media account, I said to them, I said, well, this should be a mistrial or a not guilty. I said that, but I do feel like Torey will be convicted. I said he's going to be found guilty, not based on the facts of the case or the evidence or lack thereof, but it's going to be based on the status of who Megan is. Because in the closing statement, the prosecutor says that, oh, to say that he's not guilty would be as if you're saying that Megan is a sociopath. Why even put information out there like that? Like, just let them vote and so forth, right? Because then to say that he's guilty is saying that he's, you know, a stone cold killer or capable of killing and all of these other things, right? So, you know, it's both of these people's reputation on the line. And, you know, one person's livelihood for sure on the line, like life, not even life, just complete life on the line. They should not have put that out there. You had a lot of statements in the media, like, you know, people trying to sway the media, whether they were saying, oh, this one was paid off or this was lying or this one of that. Like, they were going to great lengths to sway things instead of just sticking to the facts of the case. But it was so much confusion. And even when I speak with my close lawyer friends, and every last one of them said this was a lot of confusion, and this just is it's impossible to go and give this a guilty verdict. And if they give a guilty verdict, they will be shocked. And sure enough, they were shocked. This was definitely, I mean, I know that there's people out there that would say, no, it gotta be, it must have been, it has to have been, but based on what? Like when you get in my comments and you say to me, you know, Ree, it definitely was, tell me because of what? And when you leave your reason, look at it and make sure that there is no counter to what you are leaving. If you're looking to say, well, gun residue was on Torey, my counter would be it was also on Kelsey. If you're looking at say, well, that witness said, placed the gun in Torey's hand, my counter would be he also said that the first shot came from the woman, and he also did not say that to the police or the DA, nor did he say that in the interview previously. You see what I'm saying? If you say, well, we felt like he paid Kelsey off to lie, that's all an assumption. Kelsey got on the stand and said that that did not happen. But what she did get on the stand and say is that Meg did pay off her bills and her expenses for an entire year right before sending her a text message stating that she will be going public with the Torey and asking her, will she be backing her claims? So why can that also be looked at as, you know, bribery in a way, right? Not saying that it is, but it can be viewed that way as well. So just make sure that when you are leaving a comment, that whatever reason that you're giving, there can't be a counter. If you realize that there is a counter for it, then that is all the more reason why reasonable doubt is there. It's because reasonable doubt is where you give a statement and there's no counter. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And unfortunately, this case has so many if, ands, or but I knew that a conviction would come, not because of the evidence in the case, but because of who Megan is, the status of who she is. If this was 3 regular people, this case would have been thrown out a long time ago. So definitely leave your comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear from you. Let's be respectful. Let's honor each other. But remember, whatever you leave, you better make sure there's not a counter to it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.